Hello and welcome if you're new to my channel, and if you're a subscriber, a warm welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be talking about luxury items I highly recommend you buying in your 30s. I'm Anesu Sagonda and I produce educational luxury content for anyone after the finer things. So whether you're young and starting out in life and wanting to reap the benefits of buying quality from the get-go, or you're into luxury but you want to focus more on the brands that operate under the radar and packing a mighty quality punch, or you're new to money and wanting to learn how to navigate the terrain, then my content is very much geared towards you. A few weeks ago, I released a similar video, but my focus was very much your 20-year-olds. I'm going to do something similar in this video. Similar products, but just graduating on from there. So they're going to fall under the categories broadly of fashion, beauty, homeware, and also services. As I did in the first video, I'm speaking from my own experience when I reflect on what I did in my 30s and what I should have done better and what I possibly did well in election, but I'm also sourcing inspiration from some of the client inquiries that I get. In your 30s, you're typically at an age, depending on your circumstances, where you've been out of university, college, or possibly finished school, and you've been working for the last possibly 5, maybe even 10 years. You have experience behind you. You have learned a lot, you've seen quite a bit, earned money, possibly have savings, and maybe you're in a situation where you have bought several things and now you want something that's a little more comfortable, a little more luxurious, something that's better quality than what you had. And as you know, the theme of my channel is very much buy better, buy less. In your 30s, this is the age where I say, if you're going to buy a designer brand, I always feel designer brands should come in your 30s. You're a little older, a little wiser, you know things, you know what you like, what you don't like, and you're better placed, and also financially, depending of course on your circumstances, to invest in your designer brands. Very much in keeping with buy better, buy less, particularly if it's the brands that I've spoken about that are assured quality. Looking specifically at fashion, there are 4 key items that I think in your 30s you need to get down pat. They are a fabulous coat, beautiful timepiece and or jewelry, amazing handbag, stunning shoes, together, or rather in tandem with a carefully curated wardrobe. I'm going to attach above a recent video where I was talking you through my own work capsule collection that I'm currently working through. Just for inspiration, just to give you some ideas. But I have never and will never be an advocate of mixing your high-end and low-end fashion, your high luxe, low luxe. I'm very much high luxe or your mid-tier brands, because you're buying quality products that will last a long time. They look good, they wear well, particularly if you look after them. And they're brands that I will talk you through where it's assured quality as opposed to just an expensive brand, but it might not be the very best quality. But in your 30s, I'm very much an advocate of buying investment pieces, no fast fashion, because fast fashion is essentially making your trendy clothes quick, cheap, and disposable. Throw into that your added environmental and ethical issues. But with your mid-tier, top end of the market, you're buying assured quality products that will look good, wear well, and last a long time, as I mentioned earlier. Just to give you ideas of mid-tier brands, for your fabulous coat, think for example American brand Club Monaco, European brand, also throw in there Canada Goose, but that's more towards the top end of the market. Also throw into that Polo Ralph Lauren. I would also say Tommy Hilfiger, for example. European brands, all shipped globally. Think Reiss, you have Bash, you have Kooples, you have Claudie Pierlot, Madge, you have Sandro, for example. Timepieces. I'm not going to talk about timepieces in this video because I'm going to do something similar to what I did with handbags, hierarchy of watches, but I'll start that next year. Jewelry, a must. Basic jewelry, if you can afford it, your fine jewelry. Or if you're not yet at that stage, then I would recommend demi-fine. Demi-fine is a growing segment of jewelry. It's right in the middle between your cheap costume jewelry and your fine jewelry. Demi-fine is very much your trend-led jewelry. It's affordable. It's made from precious metals. Think of brands such as your British brands, Missoma, you have Astley Clark, American brand Catbird, you have Danish brand Maria Black. Looking at your amazing handbag, I've spoken to death. I'm sure you're tired of me talking about Bali, but Bali is a phenomenal brand that's very much under the radar, but it's amazing quality. Bali for handbags and also for shoes. Handbags, I'd also throw into that equation a great entry-level brand for your mid-tier, Kate Spade. Also put into there Wandler and also Mansour Gavriel. Examples. Top end, for your shoes. Again, Bali, and then a Spanish brand, Chimihara, which I'll talk about next year. Chimihara has a very distinct block heel. Fun shoes, Castagna, and also throw into their Veja. Moving on to beauty, two things particularly stand out. Firstly, anti-aging. Anti-aging is something that when I hit my 30s, I was a lot more conscious of it in terms of what I was putting into my body, also looking at stress levels, but I want to focus more on products. Going for products that are either as natural as possible or going for the best quality products, ingredients that you can afford. The other thing that has to become your best friend in your 30s is sunscreen. Typically, ideally, it should have started in your 20s, but 20s, you're a bit footloose, fancy free. You don't care about a lot of things and you're not as serious and in some cases as committed to doing certain things. But sunscreen has to become your best friend. People say to me, oh, black people don't burn. Whether you're Caucasian or you have black skin, your skin is going to burn and you need to look after it and limit your exposure to sunshine. When you get to 40, that's where I say don't even go into the sun. It has to be for a very short burst of time and not exposing your face, but more your back. But sunscreen and focusing on good quality anti-aging products and lifestyle, way to go in your 30s. The next is services, and this is one I personally loved and did a lot of in my 30s. I would always recommend, if your circumstances allow, travel on your own, at least once, holiday on your own, or make a habit of it every so often to do it. It's one of the best things ever. And if anything, I thrived because from a personality point of view, I have the confidence. I also enjoy just being out and about on my own. You make it up as you go along, and people are typically quite friendly. You just have to be on your guard in terms of knowing where to stay, where to go, what to do, especially being on your own as a woman. But I found it's one of the most enriching things, just being on your own, how liberating it is. And it's such a confidence booster once you get over that initial, I'm on my own, particularly if it's something that you are nervous of, but do it. Traveling on your own. If you can't, then doing things, going out for dinner, going to the cinema, going to a production, all on your own, figuring out who you are, spending time on your own and learning what works, what doesn't work for you away from everybody else. My final category and my favorite is homeware. 3 products that I'm going to be recommending. The first is bed linen. Bed linen very much goes hand in hand with your bed. Sleep is crucial, and getting good quality sleep is the cornerstone of a healthy existence. I've recommended very good beds in terms of the support and the comfort. I'm going to attach the video above. But in terms of linen, again, a great starting point for your 30s, mid-tier, and brands you can stay with for the rest of your life. You're buying very good quality products in terms of the craftsmanship and the quality. First recommendation is Hugo Boss. Hugo Boss is a fashion brand, and as you know, I am focused more on brands that create just one item and not a brand that's focused on a whole bunch of different things, because you find the quality is not so great. But the linen that Hugo Boss retail is made under license from Yves Saint Laurent, so you're in very good company. If you have a healthy budget, then I would say go for Harrods' own brand. The linen is woven in Portugal. It's fantastic quality. It's a steal for the quality that you're getting. Another recommendation would be Cologne and cotton, and then also throw into that, if you like the scalloped edge look, that Depot Toe do fantastically well, but at eye-watering prices. But at a more friendly budget, then I would recommend Sophia Conran. Second recommendation is fantastic dinnerware. Again, you can stay within the mid-tier and keep your dinnerware for the rest of your life. A number of fantastic brands. One I use and absolutely love and cannot recommend highly enough is Villeroy & Boch, a German brand. Also throw into that a British brand called Wedgwood. Wedgwood is amazing because they have a huge selection of ranges within the brand that fit comfortably within the mid-tier and also the top end of the market. And then American brand Crate and Barrel, very similar to Heels and Son in the United Kingdom in terms of a homeware store with fantastic artisanal, well-made products. And my final product is pots and pans. I'm going to attach the video above where I go into detail about various brands, top end and mid-tier. Mid-tier, I'll always recommend Le Creuset and Cristal, my top recommendation. But if your budget allows, of course, there's All Clad, and you also have Mofeel. But I've given you a very quick selection of items that I highly recommend, luxury items I highly recommend you buying in your 30s. The focus, the key takeaway from this is quality over quantity with whatever you buy. Any questions, as always, let me know in the comments down below. But of course, do share this video with a 30-year-old you may know who may benefit from this video. And of course, do subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content.